Good morning, cousin. How are you doing? How is your Friday? I am having all kinds of like time weirdness today. Is it just me? Because it feels like time is moving very, very fast today. But then every time I check in with the clock, it's not. So I love that for us. We're going to do a divination ceremony about it. My name is Jen Marie. I am an initiated high priestess and sorceress of chaos. I identify as a terrible influence, so adjust your expectations accordingly. The way that I go about this divination ceremony is different than what you are likely accustomed to. My priority is centering your relationship with your intuition because I don't have time for you to become dependent on my relationship with mine. Sounds like a lot of work. I refuse to engage with you as if you don't have access to the same information I do. You're just interpreting it through the lens of your own perspective, and you're supposed to do that. This is a space that you're going to be able to kind of explore that and do that with other witches. So we're going to be using tarot. We're going to be drawing 2 cards. The question that we are asking is, where does our attention need to be today in order to bring the most expansion in our relationship with our life and our practice? Feel free to ask any questions that you might have. Ocean is our mod god for the day. Thank you so much, Ocean. Do we have any voice of God announcements today? We do. So I'm going to turn it over to Ocean and the voice of God to let you know what's going on at the Resource Center. So.
Thank you, Jen Marie. I am so excited. Today at the Resource Center, we're having a watch party in the courtyard for practical magic. So we're all going to be queuing up our own movies and we're going to hit play together at 5 p.m. I'm sorry, 5 minutes after the hour at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. There will be an event for that in the app, but it's not open quite yet. On Wednesday, we have Magic Moves, a free dance based workshop designed to wake up the body, lift the spirits, and connect us as a community. And this is also open to every witch in the courtyard, and you can also find that in events. And after that, on Wednesday, we have our live grimoire reading. This might be our very last one for this run through, and that will be at 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern. You can find all of these events and more in our free community app. Sign up at community.brightanddark.org or go to this link and go to the events, and you can RSVP to the events you'd like to attend to get notified when they're happening. That's all from me. Thanks, Jen Marie. Back to you.
We got a lot going on. Like, we've always got a lot going on but it's summertime. It's like creeping into summertime. We're flirting with summertime at this point, and in the Northern Hemisphere. And we get really, 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 really busy. So, are we ready to do this? I'm going to start by taking 3 deep breaths to get my system prepared for divination so that I can get the clearest channel. I would advise you to do the same. You're welcome to follow along with me. My practice tends to be radically inclusive due to the nature of the work that I do. You are welcome to lurk. We're going to be doing a lot of heavy breathing. So here we go. I humbly invite all that is fire within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. I humbly invite all that is air within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. I humbly invite all that is earth within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. I humbly invite all that is water within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. I beckon to this system May we now align as one. For my cousins are the elements, and so the moon and sun. I call to those who love me. You are welcome in this space. For our nature is united, sharing magic, life, and grace. Make a declaration of intention. What are we doing? I just kicked over my water bottle. This is why we have lids. So, all right, declaration of intention. I choose now, in this moment, to align with my whole self, to pull the book that tells my story from its place upon the shelf. I enter now this circle made of trust and hope and power, and I show up for my practice in this place and at this hour. Because I am home. All right, witches, grab your decks and spread them. Let's do this. Good morning, Ingle. It's great to see you. And Claire. And all of you others. Hi, everybody. Let's do some weird stuff. It is so hard for me to monitor my language, to adjust my language when I am in magical spaces, especially because those are the spaces where I am free to unmask and just like let it all out. And having to use different language than what, because sometimes an F-bomb is exactly the word that best describes what's coming through. Anyway, let's do this. So Silver is here at Weird Brook, and we have been working on video content for all of the hundreds of witches pouring into our free and public app space that we call the Courtyard. And videos letting people know about the operations. What are we about? All of the free and public offerings that we have within the app space to encourage neurodivergent, black sheep, cycle breaking queerdos to start having real conversations about their lived experience and getting real answers instead of this over sensationalized stuff that we find readily available on social media. So we're doing it. We're doing the thing. You guys have been asking questions. Actually, you haven't been asking anywhere near enough questions, by the way. Like, there's a few of you that are engaging, but there are hundreds pouring into the app every day. And what do I got to do to get you guys to like say hi and to just like interact? Do I need to apply like I don't know, standard social media, like I don't know what to do, guys. So I need your help. You can it's the whole you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. That's what's happening in the app right now. And it's like y'all say you're black sheep cycle breakers, but where are you? Like you're awful quiet in an app that was created for you. So the bar for weird is really, really freaking high in there. There's like very little that you can say or ask that we haven't seen like a million times before. So at least let us prove it to you. We would not have called in the rebels and the outcasts and uh, neurodivergent people if we didn't know full well what we were getting ourselves into. We were not going to ask you to like be quiet or to be submissive in any way or to like obey. That would be freaking dumb. So come on, show up. This can be the thing that you've been waiting for, but you won't know until you make us prove it. We can make us prove it. Where does our attention need to be today in order to bring the most expansion in our relationship with our life and our practice? Okay. So, card on the top of the deck answers our question. Where does our attention need to be? It's going to reveal a facet of our relationship with our lived experience that we need to kind of look at, that's keeping us from walking our path or keeping us from what we came here to do, our purpose. We have, okay, so here's how this goes. This is the Tarotorial deck by Raven and Rogue. This is not sponsored, but I use this deck all of the time. It has the prompts written directly on the card. We drew the High Priestess upright. I am going to read this prompt to you and try very hard not to influence your initial interpretation of this card. My face gives it. And I'm going to try real hard to like, not respond, but I don't have a poker face. So I'm going to read this. Did someone else pull the High Priestess as well? This is fun. Okay. I think I need stronger reading glasses, guys. I'm going beyond toeing the threshold of cronehood. You need to listen to your gut, meditate, reflect, and turn inward. As the answers are within you, you're headed toward a period of growth. And the reversed, because it's about the whole card when it's this big collective reading like this. You may be having a difficult time trusting yourself or listening to your intuition. There's a lot of uncertainty surrounding you and you're feeling off balance. Meditate, trust your gut, and be authentic to yourself. So brew on that. Think about it. If your guides were using this to communicate a facet of your relationship with your life, what are they talking about? Are you ready for me to get in there? A massive part of our early social conditioning as witches, as neurodivergent witches, was in creating a disconnection with our relationship with our intuition, our inner voice, our like gut instincts. We are taught that they are wrong or dangerous or don't exist at all. It's all in our head, right? This influences our, unless you've done significant work in that, in deconstructing that, it influences our relationship with that part of ourself, the part of ourself that navigates like the spirit world, our connection to the unseen. And this doesn't mean that you're broken, but it does mean that there's a disconnection. You got to go in and do the work. And the work meaning actually engaging with your intuition and giving that part of yourself a place at the table when you're making decisions about what to do with your life. Right? How much of a place at the table does your intuition have in making the decisions about how you engage with your life? Like we're going to be all over all over the board with this one. But today, that is what's highlighted is uh, like the high priestess within you. You have guidance. You are not in this alone. You have, it's a, you have a very, very uh, finely tuned like instrument, but you just haven't learned how to engage with that. Haven't actually been encouraged to explore that part of yourself. And we are all being asked to make a big decision about what we choose to invest our physical, mental, and emotional labor into especially over the course of the next 4 months, right? Uh, Whatever we invest in, we will harvest in spades, like lots. So to discern where you're going, what is the best thing for you to do that is in alignment with your authentic self, what your like purpose is going to be scary for you right now. It's going to be scary. It's going to take you choosing to like trust fall into your intuition. And there's a lot of cards in the deck that represent that intuitive part of yourself and trusting your gut. But the high priestess is like a high priestess, it's their thing. That's what they do all of the time. It is their full-time responsibility to have a deep and meaningful relationship with their intuition. That's what they bring to the community. And this is the card that was chosen to represent uh, our relationship with our intuition. So I have a like cat fuzz on my face and I just can't ignore it, guys. Okay. So you can count on that part of yourself as you would like a high priestess, right? Like you have that within you. You've just been disconnected from it, right? It's message received. Yeah, guys, come on. So you This part of you is so untapped right now. Like, so untapped. What would your life be like if you had guidance like that relationship? What would that look like for you? Okay. Okay, so now we got to look at what we're in resistance to or in denial of that is actually blocking our shit with this. We also need to find that hair, which I just did, and remove it from this situation. Thank you. I'm very happy for myself. I have a sensory processing disorder and I just can't. I just can't have like fuzzy things that are like wafting in the air on my face. It just shuts everything down. And the fact that we've got multiple witches in this reading pulling the same card, like, come on, guys. If that isn't a like cue in, and didn't someone pull the star too? If that isn't like a cue into, hey, there's a lot going on that you're not even tapping into. There's a whole part of yourself. When you're asking for help, like you got to at least use what you got first. That's like begging for food when you have a full pantry that you're just not using, right? That's what you guys are doing when you're like, you know, save us, somebody save us. You guys have a full pantry. You're just not using it. You were told that it was dangerous to open the pantry door, so you would rather like beg for someone else's favor than to just fucking feed yourself. So, we did turn it over. So, we drew the Eight of Wands reversed for the card that represents what we're in resistance to or in denial of that's blocking our shit. So, here's the card. And I'm going to read it. I'm going to angle it in the light just right. You may think you have an idea or plan in mind, but you're trudging ahead too quickly. Don't rush into something head first. Be sure to finish a project before jumping to the next. You may also be experiencing some sort of delays, despite having the energy and enthusiasm to get things going. Take a breath and try to find ways around these challenges without getting frustrated. And then the upright is, you're busy, but this is a great thing. You're productive and making great strides. Strike while the iron is hot. Removing distractions and devoting yourself entirely to an activity or opportunity will propel you even closer to your goal. Be mindful of where your energy needs to be placed and use it wisely. So this is what you're in resistance to or in denial of that is influencing your ability to, or your relationship with your intuition, right? And we drew it in a reverse position. Okay. I find this interesting. So what I'm doing is kind of looking at the whole picture, not just this card, but how does it relate to the High Priestess and the position that we pulled it, right? And so we have been talking about this period of this like Eight of Wands time, right? That, like I just said, what we invest our physical, mental, and emotional labor into is really important. What we choose to do with that is really, really important right now. And a lot of us go into this busy time and we cast a wide net, right? We just like everything is so exciting. So we say yes to everything. And what ends up happening is we burn out before harvest. And then we end up, it just like, the game. I know you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, being really mindful of what you choose to and only invest in the really exciting stuff. And if it's scary to you, uh, really look at that. If it's outside of your comfort zone, really look at that. Right. So this is like this brewing undercurrent, this need to be mindful of what we choose, to invest in things, but just not everything. And you got to pick a side. You got to pick a side. You can't do both, right? You can do both, but you're not going to get the harvest you're wanting. Your intuition is a really, really valuable guide in this process. And if you haven't taken some time to cultivate a relationship with that, your connection to spirit, your connection to guidance, making these choices is going to be hard, right? Because it could seem like equally beneficial, but one is beneficial for your heart and the other is beneficial for your mind. How do you choose between the two, right? Your intuition is going to be important in that. And so that is what this reading kind of feels like, is that you're in denial, resistance or denial of the fact that your intuition can actually be really helpful in these decisions that you're making in your everyday life. Okay. So if we were going to bring this all together and create a practice for the day. Give me a second. Ooh. So if you have multiple decisions that you need to make, right? You've got to decide between multiple things. Do I start learning how to make baskets? Do I learn how to do, grafting? Do I go back to school to be I don't know. You've got 3 different options of things to learn, right? But you need to decide one. All are like equal. Do something. So this could be anything, right? Any decision, multiple decisions that you have to make, try to find a way to involve or incorporate your intuition to exercise that part of yourself. With this exercise, so if you've got 4 different decisions to make, you got to choose between 4 things. Write down those things each on a different piece of paper and fold it up and put those 4 pieces in front of you, mix them around, spread them out, hold your hand over each one and allow yourself to actually feel it, right? Which one is the best one for me? Which is my best investment? Hold your hand over each one. The one that would be in your best interest is going to be exciting, like butterflies in your stomach kinds of feeling. Okay. And then see what you got. How do you feel about it now that you can see it? Right? If you open that and you're like disappointed, that's still really great information for you, right? You're still including your intuition in the process. Your intuition led you to a no, and that is really important, right? Allow that fluidity in this, okay? Just because you draw something doesn't mean that that's the thing that you need to go to, but the way that you feel about it is going to tell you, like, whether or not that's the thing. Okay? Do we love that? That's just one opportunity. Another exercise that involves your intuition is going on an intuitively led walk. And at every point that you get to choose which direction to take, go with your gut instinct and just follow it for as long as you can, right? Doing things like this make it to where you are, again, opening up that kind of line of communication. You get to explore what it feels like when you are receiving guidance. All right, it's like exercising a muscle, but all right, that's our reading for the day. Have fun with that one, guys. We're going to be filming more just after this live, and then I'm going to go run around in the woods for a little bit. It's going to be great. Okay, so let's close out this working, and I will see you tomorrow at the same time. So that would be at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to do it. Okay, hand on your heart. Take a deep breath. This working is now closing, but the magic has just begun. I humbly thank the elements and both the moon and sun. To all who chose to bless this flow, I now sincerely thank you. May our practice be expansive and our course be clear and true. All right. Okay, witches, we got our work for the day. Until tomorrow, if you can't be good at it. All right. Bye.